How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Mr. 100 continues to stack. We have numbers from the Bitcoin ETFs. Bitcoin is moving up. We have some other interesting stuff that's coming in the next 24 hours and 48 hours. Some interesting events that are happening this week. So let's go through it. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see these videos in the future. There's also going to be a link to Margex underneath the video in case you want part of this airdrop. You can sign up and start trading cryptocurrency. There's also a link to CoinW as well, where they also have a pretty big airdrop. So if you want any of that, there are links underneath the video. Of course, always do your own due diligence. Make sure that you read the terms and conditions. As you can see, Bitcoin's price is moving up. I mean, just look, it's like pretty much a nice little trend line there from the bottom of 57, 58, 58, I should say, just 58.3. Since then, we've just been bouncing along this trend line, moving up and to the right. So that is good to see. And there have been some people accumulating. We've covered Mr. 100 yesterday. They bought for the first time in over a month. They bought 114, and then earlier today, 108, 106. And then more recently, even since the last video, another 104 Bitcoin. So just over the last day, they bought 430 Bitcoin, somewhere around there. I mean, a significant amount. What is that? $3 million, if I'm doing the math right? No, $30 million. $30 million just for little buys of $6 to $7 million. Okay, so while some people are freaking out, Mr. 100 continues to buy more and more. There are some other large entities, large wallets that have been buying as well. Now, we can see some ETFs buying as well, and it's not exactly who you'd think. IBIT had another strong day with $1.1 billion in terms of trading volume. FBTC 370 million, GBTC 340, BITO with 300. We saw a $30 million outflow day from GBTC, HODL, and BITB with some inflows. FBTC came in with the winner, though, 49 million in inflows. So a strong day for FBTC, for Fidelity, strong day from Fidelity. ARKB with about $6 million of outflows. So net 31 million. This was before IBIT, but then IBIT had another zero flow day. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. Fidelity has been pretty strong recently, but for some reason, IBIT just strikes me as such a weird one because, again, day after day, they have really heavy flows. They have they have 1.1 billion in volume and zero in flows. Not negative $1 million, not plus $1 million. I mean, it's just so odd. Again, I don't know. If you flipped a coin 1,100 times, I don't think it would be exactly tails half the time and exactly heads half the time. You'd be off a couple. And that's what strikes me so odd. Again, day after day, I think it was yesterday, they had 1.6 billion and they had zero outflows. I've given some of my thoughts on what they're doing. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Again, I think that they're probably using internal funds so that way when they have an outflow day, they go and buy with their own funds. But even that would be kind of odd because some of the highest volume time is towards the end of the day, like the last few minutes. And they'd have to be like real-time tracking, like to the second, how much is flowing in and out. So it's just odd. It's really odd. But obviously, we have accumulation day here, which, it's hard to even tell how much this affects. I think when we get a very strong inflow day or a very strong outflow day, it does affect the price. But it's kind of like a chicken or the egg thing. Like, are we seeing the price go down because there are outflows, or are we seeing outflows because the price is going down? And there's the carry trade, so they might buy the ETFs or sell the ETFs and then do the opposite on the futures market. So this whole ETF thing has gotten more muddled. Obviously, whenever there's higher trading volume and if there's more accumulation, I do think it is beneficial overall. But it is just interesting to keep up with it and realize that the numbers aren't always what they seem. SEC Gary Gensler says the process to spot Ethereum ETF approval is going smoothly. Okay, that's good. That's good. Hopefully we continue to see that be the case. Let's just look at the overall market. You can see 2.25% up for Bitcoin, 1.68% up for Ethereum, 4.39% for Solana. So a very strong day there. You can see some of the smaller coins as well moving up more significantly. But yeah, overall, I think this is good for Ethereum, but not just Ethereum. It's good for the whole crypto market, as it does show that the SEC is maybe lightening up on their reign of tyranny. Okay, a couple really interesting things, but first we do have some big events here in the next few days. New home sales comes in tomorrow. The projection is 640,000. The previous was 634. This is on a steady downtrend over the last year. We have initial jobless claims on Thursday and the second revision of GDP. And then on Friday, we have the MacDaddy PCE inflation. This is the preferred inflation gauge of the Fed. Last time we had 0.3% month over month. Now we're expecting 0%. So yeah, it will be a metric that a lot of people look at to see what the Fed is going to do moving forward. We have seen, I believe it was at the beginning of the month, we saw a couple pretty decent inflation numbers come out. So hopefully that continues. Couple other interesting pieces of news. VW is taking a $1 billion stake in Rivian and will invest another $4 billion to form a joint venture. Okay, I want to talk about this. We'll talk about that in a second. But we do have the debates tomorrow. That's something that I didn't add to this. Not tomorrow, sorry. Thursday. Thursday we have the presidential debates in the U.S. And it will be something that is highly watched, I'm sure. One token that I do have some allocation in is FJB. This thing is up 41% today, probably because of the elections, but it's very volatile. So if you're a trader and you want something with some volatility, I mean, this thing goes from 0.001 to 0.11, like this did a 10x, and then back down, and then back up, then back down, then back up significantly. I mean, this has done over a 2x just in the last few days. Maybe something that you want to pay attention to. And I do think it's interesting because it's political, but it's not necessarily for Trump or for Joe Biden. It's really taken, like, if they did an DT. If they did that, I think it'd be similar. But most people that are voting for Biden don't really like Biden. They just don't like Trump more than they dislike Biden. So it is just an interesting meme, interesting psychology behind it. But as you can see, up 57% in the last 24 hours. So if you do want to check it out, maybe I'll leave a link to it underneath the video. I do have allocation in it. It's not 5% of my portfolio, but it is a bit of a gamble. It's fun. And yeah, they're not a sponsor of the channel right now or anything. They're not sponsoring this video, but I do have a bit of an allocation in it. But let's get back to Rivian. So VW is taking a $1 billion stake and will invest another $4 billion to form a joint venture. Rivian stock shot up 30% after hours. The company said that they would develop next-gen battery vehicles with leading-edge software. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's interesting that they're saying they're going to develop next-gen battery-powered vehicles with leading-edge software because we own a Rivian. We also own a Tesla. The software is not as good on the Rivian. The car itself is really cool. It's much more spacious than the Tesla. We own an R1S and just got it maybe a month ago. It's awesome. Like, we like it just as much, probably more than we like the Tesla when we got the Tesla new. The Rivian, just a few thousand miles used, but awesome car. You get a lot of head turning. It's very fast. Like, I like it more than the Tesla at this point. I wish it had some of the software of the Tesla, though. I would really like auto steer instead of just cruise control. I'd like it to stay between the lines. From my point of view, VW is putting $1 billion into Rivian and, willing to invest $4 billion into it because Rivian has a pretty strong brand in the US and they're one of the most unlevered electric car companies. They're not losing $300,000 per vehicle like Lucid either. Seems like they're actually scaling up relatively well. They're just in that time span where it is really expensive to run a business like this because they're burning cash with every car. They're not making money on the cars yet. But yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense. If they don't want to do something themselves, if they don't want to go and start making a lot of electric vehicles or something, if they just buy part of Rivian, let's take a look at Rivian stock right now. Rivian is an $11 billion, $12 billion company. Okay, if they go and invest $1 billion, but then they also are willing to invest another $4 billion, they get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% of the company for this investment. Yeah, I mean, maybe it makes sense for them, right? Yeah, it's just a really interesting opportunity. And this stock has come down a lot. I mean, for good reason. It's not a profitable company, but it's come down from $128 to $130 to $12. It's down 90+%. So I don't know. It's interesting. It is a heck of a car. Like it just feels premium. It feels really nice. And again, it's fast. It is well built. It turns heads still at this point. Of course, when they build more vehicles, it will be less so that way. But I don't know. So far, we've really liked it. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know if you even care about electric vehicles. I think eventually most of us will drive electric vehicles. Just my opinion. I think they are fun. I think people don't really care that much. There's not going to be that much range anxiety down the road because people will be more educated on it, and there'll be more electric stations. It'll be faster, all that good stuff. Let me know your thoughts, though. Thank you so much. Again, there are links underneath the video in case you want to start leverage trading or you want to try spot trading on one of those platforms. You can check them out. There's also the link to FJB if you want to check that out. Thank you so much. Of course, always do your own due diligence. I will see you in the next video. Bye.